I just noticed a grand water trine um, between the vertex 22 degrees Taurus, and it's a grand water trine at 22 degrees master number. So 22 degrees vertex, conjunct Uranus, Vesta 22 degrees Virgo, and the moon 22 degrees Capricorn. So a trine is forming in the earth signs, the vertex, Vesta, and the moon Capricorn, all in earth signs at the master number. 22 degrees is the master number. So it's kind of indicating that the mastery is being held here in by the female planets Vesta in a home sign. And I deal with my sounds. So, I mean, the serious point of it is, the master numbers 11 and 22 indicate where where the masters, um, which are basically beings that have existed on the planet, had many lives on the planet, and achieved their ascension, initiation, and have attained their light bodies, and now exist eternally with the Creator in their light bodies, and um, help humanity raise consciousness and go through their evolution without the necessity for physical bodies. And often they can take physical forms and they can appear often to people, and they do instruct souls and individuals who are on the path. So masters have a very high consciousness, and they deal with sacred energies because they have transcended the malefic influence of Mars and Saturn, and also the outer planets. So they've sanctified their being and become holy, and they can this way help humans raise consciousness. So any planets at master numbers indicate that there's an open channel connected to these beings and to their consciousness, and so it's potent if you have any master number degrees in your chart. It's always good to know where they are and look at that and make some kind of an effort to connect with masters, often called koans or lords of the rays. Sort of first written about by Madame Blavatsky in her writings. Um, but these are the stories of the greats of world religions, the great characters of history. Um, a lot of them took their final initiations in the Piscean age in the last couple of thousand years. Jesus, for example, took years. I believe it's his sixth initiation on the cross. Um, so yeah, whenever there's like this grand trine in earth signs, um, with the moon, the mature female wisdom, Vesta, the sanctified wife archetype, vertex, which is the new rising sign. It's basically the rising sign um, in the chart, which is like a second rising sign. Um, so, as you know, the rising sign is like the sun in its most easterly aspect. So it's the sun as it conquers the night, and it's the pure um, sun that conquers the darkness. So it's kind of the best part of our psyche. Um, whereas the descendant is kind of like the darker part of our solar self, and it's where the darkness conquers the day, the night, light. So that's the polarity there between the rising and the setting sign. But yeah, the vertex is um, the second rising sign. So we've got a grand trine in Earth. So the key to the mastery right now is stability and just having like a really grounded, organized, um, pure um, situation in the home, and then just working on building, the Capricorn 22 degrees, like building and doing, I guess, the work of the masters and finding what that work is and doing that work. And, thing with work is it can be drudgerous and monotonous, but if it's spiritual work, if it's work connected to the masters and it's a work that's creative, it's not a drudge at all. It's actually it gives you energy. It gives you energy. It's connected to this higher beings and their energies. So, yeah, anyway, that's a little thing that I noticed the other day. And feel free to ask me any questions. And yeah, check that out.